In this lecture, I am going to discuss linear congruences and Chinese remainder theorem. Let us move to the corollary. If GCD of A, n is equal to 1, then the linear congruence AX is congruent to B modulo n as a unique solution. Proof is left on exercise. Let us move to the note. If A and n are relatively prime, it means GCD of A, n is equal to 1. So then the linear congruence AX is congruent to 1 modulo n as a unique solution. So this is very important property. If A and n are relatively prime numbers, that is GCD of A comma n is equal to 1, then the linear congruence AX is congruent to 1 modulo n as a unique solution. For example, the linear congruence 3x is congruent to 1 modulo 5 as a unique solution. You know why? Since GCD of 3 comma 5 is 1, so by using this property we can observe that it has only one solution. Let us check that solution. So 3x is congruent to 1 modulo 5, so this implies 5 divides 3x minus 1. So for x is equal to 2, 5 divides 6 minus 1, this implies 5 divides 6. So therefore x equal to 2 is a given linear congruence. Now for x is equal to 7, so 5 divides 7 3s are 21, 21 minus 1 20, so 5 divides 20, therefore x equal to 7 is also a solution of this equation. Now similarly for x equal to 12, 5 divides 36 minus 1, so this implies 5 divides 35. Like this you can take x equal to 2, 7, 12 and so on, or infinite solutions, but so these solutions are congruent solutions, means similar solutions. So therefore x equal to x naught is equal to 2 is a unique solution of given linear congruence 3x is congruent to 1 modulo 5, since GCD of 3 comma 5 is equal to 1. So we move to the theorem, Chinese remainder theorem. Let us put the statement of the theorem. Let n1, n2 and so on nr be positive integers such that GCD of ni, nj is equal to 1. It means so n1, n2 and so on nr are relatively prime to each others for I is not equal to j. Then the system of linear congruences, x is congruent to a1 modulo n1, x is congruent to a2 modulo n2 and so on. xr is congruent to ar modulo nr. So these are the system of linear congruences. So these congruences as a simultaneous solution which is unique modulo under the integer n1 into n2 into and so on nr. So now let us move to the proof of the theorem. Let n is equal to n1 into n2 into n3 and so on nr, where n1, n2 and so on nr are relatively prime in pairs, that is GCD of ni comma nj is equal to 1 for I is not equal to j. For example, n1, n2 are prime numbers, co-primes here, relatively prime numbers, or n1 with n2, n1 with nr, n2 with n1. So these are the relatively prime numbers. So they are prime in pairs. But I have taken as n is equal to n1 into n2 and so on nr. Let me define. Let nk is equal to n by small nk. So where n we defined n1 into n2 into n3 and so on, nk minus 1 into nk into nk plus 1 and so on till nr divided by nk. Nk and nk get cancelled here. So therefore nk is equal to n1 into n2 into n3 and so on, nk minus 1, nk get cancelled, nk plus 1 and so on into nr. So where nk is equal to, we can write as n1 to n2, n3, nk minus 1, then nk plus 1 into and so on into nr. So now let us define for each k is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on, or so for k is equal to 1, let us define n1. n1 is equal to, so you have to, n1 is n by n1, so therefore n1 can be written as n2 into n3 and so on nr. Similarly n2 can be written as that is small n by n2, so that can be written as n1 into, there should not be n2 here, so that is divided by in the denominator n2, next term is n3 and so on nr. So similarly let us define nk already, which is defined, that is n1 into n2 and so on nk minus 1, next term is nk plus 1 and so on, that is nr. And so let us define n small r, that is n1 into n2 and so on nr minus 1, nr and sorry, here nr and by divided by nr get cancelled, so nr is n1 into n2 and so on nr minus 1. Since GCD of ni comma nj is equal to 1 for I is not equal to j, from the statement of the theorem n1, n2 and so on nr are relatively prime number, therefore GCD of ni comma nj is equal to 1. Now this implies n1 does not divide capital N1, where capital N1 is here n2 into n3 and so on into nr. Here the integer n1 is relatively co-prime with n2, n3 and so on nr. So capital N is a product of these integers. Therefore small n1 does not divide capital N1. Similarly n2 does not divide n2, capital N2, where n2 is we defined here n1 into n3 and so on nr. Again the integer n2 is relatively prime with n1, n3 and so on nr. Therefore n2 does not divide capital N2. Similarly nk does not divide capital Nk and so on nr does not divide capital NR. So that is GCD of capital NK with small nk is equal to 1 for k is equal to 1, 2 and so on r. When k is equal to 1, GCD of n1 with small n1 is 1 because n1 does not divide capital N1. When k is equal to 2, again GCD of capital N2 and small n2 is equal to 1 since that n2 does not divide capital N2 and so on. When k is equal to r, so GCD of nr, capital Nr and small nr is 1 because so the integer small nr does not divide capital Nr. So therefore GCD of nk with small number nk is equal to 1. So this is true for all k is equal to 1 to r. Since we know that if GCD of a comma n is equal to 1, then the linear congruence Ax is congruent to 1 modulo n as a unique solution. So this is one of the property. So by using this property we can write therefore the linear congruence nkx is congruent to 1 modulo nk as a unique solution. We know that by using this property we can write, that, and moreover GCD of nk and small nk is 1. Therefore you can write the linear congruence nk into x is congruent to 1 modulo nk as a unique solution by using this property. Let us write let xk be the solution of linear congruence nkx is congruent to 1 modulo nk. This is true for k is equal to 1 to r. So that is we can write for k is equal to 1 n1 into x1, where k is equal to 1, x1 is the solution of the congruence, linear congruence, n1 into x1 is congruent to 1 modulo n1. n2 into x2 is congruent to 1 modulo n2 and so on. nk into xk is congruent to 1 modulo nk and so on. nr into xr is congruent to 1 modulo nr. Let us call equation number 1. So now we show that x bar is equal to a1 into n1 x1 plus a2 into n2 x2 and so on plus ar into nr xr is the solution of simultaneous linear congruences, simultaneous linear congruences. So where A1, A2 and A are the remainders of the given system of linear congruences. So now let us take nk, which is defined. So that is equal to know that n1 into n2 and so on, nk minus 1. Next term is nk plus 1 and so on, nr. Here you can observe that nk does not divides ni for I is equal to k. You can observe that suppose for I is equal to k, so that is nk divides nk. Nk and capital Nk are the relatively co-prime numbers. Therefore, Nk does not divide capital Nk. But Nk divides Ni for I is not equal to k. For example, you take k is equal to 1 and I is equal to 2. So anyway, k is not equal to I here. Take n1 divides obviously n2, because this implies, so n1, where n2 is equal to know that n1 into n3 and so on, nr. n1 divides n1. Therefore, for I is not equal to k, nk divides ni. For I is equal to k, nk does not divides capital Ni. Here I can take 1, 2, k minus 1, then k plus 1 and so on, or I can take. So now that is, for I is equal to 1, n1 is congruent to 0 modulo nk, since nk divides n1 from this result now. Similarly, for I is equal to 2, for this, n2 is congruent to 0 modulo nk, since nk divides n2 also, and so on. Whatever for nk, when I is equal to k, nk is congruent to nk, I can write modulo nk. So since nk divides capital Nk minus capital Nk, so this implies nk divides 0. But here nk does not divides ni for I is equal to k. So therefore 0 is not a remainder in this case. Okay, and so on. nr is congruent to 0 modulo nk, since nk again divides nr also from this result now. So let us call equation 2 this is. Then equation 2 implies a1 into n1, x1 is congruent to 0 modulo nk. Since we know that if a is congruent to b modulo n, so then we can write ac is congruent to bc modulo n also. So therefore, by using this property, we can write if n1 is congruent to 0 modulo nk, can be written as a1 into n1, a1 into x1 into n1 is congruent to a1 into x1 into 0, that is 0 only, modulo nk we can write. By using this property, we can write. So similarly, a2 into n2, x2 is congruent to 0 modulo nk, we can write, and so on. For kth equation, a k into nk into what, xk is congruent to here, nk is here, so that is ak into nk into xk modulo nk we can add. So and so on. AR into NR into XR is congruent to 0 modulo nk we can add. So let us call equation 3. So adding all the equations in equation 3, we get a1 n1 into x1 plus a2 into n2 into x2 plus and so on. So that is kth equation, ak into nk into xk and so on. So last equation plus ar into nr into xr is congruent to. So in the first equation we have that 0 plus 0 and so on. In the kth equation we have that ak into nk into xk plus and so on. In last equation we have 0 modulo nk we have. This implies, so this is can be written as you have taken, so that is x bar. So x bar is nothing but you know that, so that is a1 into n1 into x1 plus a2 into n2 x2 and so on, ar into nr into xr. So this can be written as x bar is congruent to, so 0 plus 0 and so on, ak into nk xk plus and so on 0. So that is can be written as x bar is congruent to ak into nk xk modulo nk. Let us call equation 4. We know that since nk into xk is congruent to 1 modulo nk, so that is from equation 1. So this implies nk into xk into ak is congruent to ak modulo nk, so that is called as equation 5. So you know that from equation 4 and 5 you can write x bar is congruent to ak into nk xk is congruent to, you know, so that is ak modulo nk. So this implies x bar is congruent to ak modulo nk. That is called equation 6. That is x bar is congruent to a1 modulo n1 for k is equal to 1. X bar is congruent to a2 modulo n2, that is for k is equal to 2. So similarly x bar is congruent to ak modulo nk, that is for k, and so on. X bar is congruent to ar modulo nr, so that is for k is equal to r. So these are system of linear congruences where x bar is the solution of simultaneous linear congruence. Therefore you can write x bar is the solution of system of linear equation, let us write simultaneous equation. So also x bar is congruent to ak modulo n1 into n2 and so on into nk. So this implies x bar is congruent to ak modulo n, where n is equal to n1 into n2 and so on nr. This is nr, not nq, nr. Therefore x bar is the solution of simultaneous equation congruent to modulo n. Now let us prove that x bar is a unique solution. Now let us move to uniqueness. We have x bar is congruent to ak modulo nk. So let us call equation 7, where x bar is the solution of the simultaneous linear congruence modulo n. If possible, let if possible x1 bar and x2 bar are two different solutions of equation 7. So then x1 bar is congruent to ak modulo nk, and x2 bar is also solution of the equation 7, that is congruent to ak modulo nk. So this implies x1 bar minus x2 bar, subtract x1 bar and x2 bar, is congruent to ak minus ak, that is 0 modulo nk. This implies nk divides x1 bar minus x2 bar. So this implies n1 divides x1 bar minus x2 bar. Similarly, n2 divides x1 bar minus x2 bar, and so on, when nr divides x1 bar minus x2 bar. So this implies that is n divides x1 bar minus x2 bar. So this implies x1 bar minus x2 bar is congruent to 0 modulo n. So this implies x1 is congruent to x2 bar modulo n. So this implies x1 bar and x2 bar are similar solutions or congruent solutions of simultaneous equation. So therefore x1 bar is equal to x2 bar. Hence we can write the solution is unique.